Hey there, Wes Dove here with Dove Development Consulting. Wanted to get a quick message out. Over the last few weeks, we've kind of went down a path in a daily dose of leadership that we were able to bring home and kind of land. So changing directions. And quite honestly, as I record this, I don't even remember what the topic was over the last several weeks, which is kind of crazy. But we spin a lot of plates, so that's just kind of the world we live in now. Where we're going to go is really looking at something that I heard from one of our mentors over the last several years. I've listened to an audio lesson called I'm Responsible, and it really talks about how do we look at every given situation and say, well, good or bad, doesn't really matter. What could I have done? Or how can I take complete ownership of this and make it a better situation? How, if service is terrible in a restaurant or wherever, what could I have done different to make it a better situation? If there's a mistake in billing, how can I take that responsibility, even though it's somebody else, I'm paying them for the service? How can we ourselves look at the scenario and say, what could I do differently to impact this? Also read a book called The Question Behind the Question not so long ago that really dove into every given situation. How could we be more responsible for the things that are going on? So a scenario I'm going to share with you. So many folks, one of the things that I still do a little bit of today is helping some of the companies that we've got good relationships with do some staffing, do some hiring, post positions. So many times people say, hey, why wasn't I selected? And it takes me back to more than 20 years ago. I moved into a role, actually just about 21 or 22 years ago. I interviewed for a position and I wasn't selected. And I reached out to a friend of mine who was part of the interview committee. And we weren't close friends yet, but I was starting to rely on him for advice and input. And okay, what can I do? What can I move? How can I move forward? And so on. And as I had the conversation with him, he said, here's some specific things you can do. And from that point forward, we've had a really, really strong relationship in that he served as a mentor today. I consider him very close friend. We don't get to see one another all that often. We're in different parts of the state and just lives go different directions. But I have huge value for the role he's played and the feedback that he's given me over time. And I often call or I'll send him a card every now and then, just say, hey, appreciate you. You've played such an important part in helping me move forward in my career and in my life and so on and so forth. And over the last several years, his feedback has been, yeah, I didn't do that much. I gave you some feedback and you applied it. And that's where it comes back to who's responsible. And that ultimately ends up being us that's responsible for taking the action, even with the best training, even with the best mentorship, even with the best coaching, whatever we want to call it, even with the best resources. If we don't take that step and apply it and take action on the things that are being sown into us, it doesn't really matter. So gosh, it really does come down to us. So one of the things that Cindy and I've done recently, I'll try to pull it up on the screen and share, we've launched a 14-day trial for our Leading at the Next Level program. And I'll insert this into some of the things too, but I wanted to share it here just in case you only see us on social media, in case this video is the only thing you ever see with what we put together. And this is where you get a snapshot and you kind of take action on how do you process it yourself. You don't have access to a daily dose of leadership, which wherever you see this, I'll add a link to that in the comments as well. But we launched a 14-day trial. Now in Leading at the Next Level, this product we've put together, we started almost 3 years ago. We now have around 60 lessons and it grows every single week. Cindy delivers another in a few days and it just keeps growing. We've got all these lessons. They're all certified for recertification credit through Human Resource Certification Institute, Society for Human Resource Management. We've worked with Virginia Department of Labor for the hours that people invest in themselves to count towards the registered apprenticeship classroom hour requirement and so on and so forth. We also have some courses, not from this program specifically, but other digital courses that work for assisted living and senior living administrators, license renewals, and so on and so forth. But in this particular course, we have a 14-day money-back guarantee. But I recently, as we launched this 14-day trial, we put a disclaimer on it. It says this material is for educational use only. You alone are responsible for implementing the steps necessary to become a more effective leader at each new level in your career. And how true is that? You alone are. Nobody's going to do it for you. People can help you. People can guide you. People can offer feedback. But if you don't take the steps to apply it, it's not going to matter. And I want to insert that here because we have put that out. The 14-day trial thing we've launched. It's some pretty neat resources. It's a buck. And gosh, we're going to honor the 14-day money-back guarantee on that, the satisfaction guarantee, even on the dollar. But the long and the short of it is all of our programs, when there are digital resources specifically, we offer that same guarantee on them. So if that's a resource that would add value to you, we're going to insert this through what we cover in a daily dose of leadership and how we can look at taking that personal responsibility for the action steps that we take and how we move forward, how we are better qualified, how we lead more effectively, how we do those things. We'll look at that over the next several days, but wanted to share this here with you as well. So look forward. If you don't have access to a daily dose of leadership right now, get it. We'll put the link on the comments of wherever you're seeing this, but gosh, we'd love to have you take part of that. It's a complimentary service that we offer, and we use it for some other things too, but it's something that you can get access on several times a week basis, usually 3 to 5, sometimes less, sometimes more, but it's something that we try to share some lessons that hopefully spur thinking and give you a foundation for taking action steps on the things that you can be responsible for. Look forward to seeing you soon. Make it a great day. God bless.